Hello everyone, welcome to the Moonee Valley Review Show, 17 June 2017. Um, Straight into it, had the track play. I think it was leaderish early and swoopers late as was expected. Now, when I say swoopers late, you could still win from on speed, but there was a clear advantage, in my opinion, getting to that outside part of the track because the inside had broken up. That's the mail we got halfway through the day, and it kind of proved that way. Um,
I didn't want to be on horses at the back for most of the day.
yeah. Oh, not until I think when Black Tomahawk in that staying race.
I ignore staying races for.
I agree on that to an extent, but I think it covered it. Its last 200 was really good, and it showed that there was kind of just something there, and then that's where Patrology got a bit of the
I think the track
slingshot.
was fine though.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people not happy with it, but
It played as we expected it to play. I don't see how anyone can have any issues if they actually did their research. They can go out there and walk the track if they want, but but it was out there. The information was out there. We put it out there. 100 other people put it out there on Twitter. Now, could have it been rail 7 and would have we avoided the issues? Not sure, but
yeah.
we won't find out because I have a feeling this will be the last wet season type Moonee Valley track we have in a long while because they probably won't do it next year. They only do 2. We just had a renovation. They do 2 and then back to renovations again, ready for spring summer. So
I still like the track. I like the track on Saturday. I like betting there. I like going there.
as I was saying, if we get rid of Moonee Valley though, where do we race? Like Caulfield's not ready, so we've got Flemington in the roster, and where else? Sandown, Pakenham, Cranbourne. You know, we're kind of missing an extra track, and Sandown's gonna be sold soon. So where's that gonna go?
Well, that's good.
Right, race Chuck one. Eagle Farm into it.
let's get through it.
Slowest 1200 of the day by an absolute mile, half a second slower than any others. First 2 on speed around the corner at the 400. First 2 home in Pure Emotion and 151 point Magic Miller. Behave 3 ride the trip, but it was gone at 500. It was horrible. Zell Signoret, which was my horse, and yours was Josephine C. Both sat back the pegs. Never really in it the way that it was run. They'll both appreciate stronger tempo, so I'd just kind of ignore their runs.
I thought the ride on Josephine C was fine.
Yeah.
It's first race of the day. He didn't know it was going to be...
Exactly. There was nothing wrong with the rides. They even speak softly, but I'd say they're just
if he
forgive
leads
runs.
on Josephine C, it wins, but
Of
he
course.
didn't.
Yeah.
He's one back with cover.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You'd be happy if they did that.
I'm not interested in the race going forward.
Yeah, winner on the Pure Emotion, over whipped it 3 times, and also consecutive strides. So breaks the rules twice, $1,000 fine, gets a slung probably, right?
And the trainer will give him another ride.
Well, we saw the trainer collecting his big check at the end of the day from the TAB, so
Good on him.
he's got a bit to go around, I imagine.
I'd send him a horse.
Yeah.
I want my horses pushed to the absolute limit.
Yeah.
Owner, punter, whatever.
Race 2,000 metres, 3-year-old fillies handicapped. Erolino was made favourite late. It got the vet curse, vetted, and was never going to win. They never win when they're vetted because the vets just get it wrong.
What do you reckon I should do?
Few people have had interesting ideas on it. There's one that if you're actually having to vet a horse, then it should just be scratched.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure that's exactly it, but there has to be a bit of common sense
I agree
in what
with whoever said that, but it's
that's protecting the punter
yeah,
right
that
there.
protects the punter,
but
so
not
it'll
the
never
owner.
happen.
So
no, because it's breeding.
Yeah, correct.
Imagine just getting your horse checked in the slipper and they scratch it.
Yeah, of course.
It will never happen. It'll be good for punters, but
Well, yeah.
punters are the least important thing in racing.
I remember the BMW 2 or 3 years ago, the favourite and another horse, which was a Waller's horse, Group 1 winner, were both vetted. One wins the race, the other pulls up lame. It's guesswork, in my opinion, and I don't like the way that it's going at the moment, and something has to be done because the punter's not protected. You can't pull your bet.
Yeah.
Unless you're on Betfair, and very quick. From the yard, the 2 clear bests that I thought. So, going to the race, I think we weren't exactly expecting a bet. especially the way the track was meant to play. If not now, when was the clear best horse in the race?
I thought, yeah.
I also had Unique Lovely as a second play in that race on my betting strategy, which ended up winning with a swooping ride, interestingly, early on.
Yep.
And Miss Vespa from the yard for me was the one that caught my eye from the yard, but also was always going to map to lead, in my opinion. So from what I'd seen from the previous race, I said $18 for a horse that's going to be on speed. Has the form lines that I think can measure up.
Yeah, I didn't like how it paraded that much.
Really?
It was okay.
Yeah. I was pretty wrapped on it, so I guess
I like the one, but I didn't like how it would be where it would be in the run.
Correct.
So I just pretty much sat it out.
It was the pick of the yard, wasn't it? Right?
Bet,
it was the pick of the yard.
Best horse in the yard. I like the way Mrs. Martin paraded.
Ran like a busted.
No, it's alright.
Compared to the others for the yard that day.
Might find a weaker race.
Yeah. Anything for the Black
Stable's
Book?
fine.
Stable is fine.
Nothing from that race.
Nothing from that race for me ever. Race 3, 1,000 metres, mares BM84, ran in 58.54, decent time. Keep counting. Advised to go forward. It went forward. Pulled up a VIPH.
What do you think when you saw Miss Vista finding cover?
So you stand next to me with races, right? And I'm optimistic in races.
Yeah, what I said.
So, yeah, he's fucked it, pretty much.
We're fucked.
Yeah. And I'm the optimistic type. It goes, oh, maybe she can... No, don't listen to me and play on those optimistic things. It's bullshit. He absolutely slaughtered it. He gave it no shot. We listened after the race to the Ladbrokes video that Craig does, and there was a bit of a lean in what he said that he may take cover.
Who cares? Who watches those things? Like, not many people watch them.
Yeah.
It's a fast... That horse leads.
Yeah. If it leads, it wins there. It actually
It's due
wins.
for a spell. Like, it over-raced. He's the best
pulled all the
jockey
way.
in Victoria, but that was his worst ride I've seen in a long time.
It was
And
pathetic.
fucking everyone talks about Bo Mertens, who's an apprentice. The horse didn't have any speed from the gate in the last race. It's sitting last. Do I go wide? Do I go inside? Nolan comes around him, he goes inside, and everyone's slaughtering Bo Mertens. Fucking Miss Vista.
Yeah, it was worse.
You jump from a wide gate. Take all the time you want. You go to the front. You stretch them out.
Correct.
It doesn't run faster than other horses late in races, but it can maintain.
I don't think it's
speed.
ever passed a horse in its life.
Yeah, but it doesn't fucking normally need to.
Well, because it can't. That's why you lead. And
That race was cool.
leader wins the race. So
Yeah, we had a bit on that, but still.
not enough. Appalachian Annie back to the 955 night meetings badly. That's where you need to see it. Top 3 home save 5 metres more ground than the rest of the runners. They got the runs of the race.
Yeah.
On
I think
the
Zara
bars.
Bay's flying.
Where do you want to see it go?
1,100 metres, Caulfield.
Fair enough. Anything else? No, exactly. Race 4, Mooney Valley, 1600 F&M, BM84. Decent time, minute 37.36. Run faster than the handicap later on in the day, so...
It's great. It's a great ride by Mertens. Fuck, it was good. He outrode Jake Bayless on having on the glass, who should have gone forward, further forward.
Yep. He won the race. He was 4 wide early, and he decided, I'm just going to go take this lead. And I said to myself, geez, he's overcooked that. And I wasn't on the horse. I was on the one that ran second, thank you very much, by 0.1 lengths. Mamselle Test, who for me, from the yard, was an absolute... It mapped to get the perfect run and just looked stunning, better than I'd seen it in the past from on TV. So that for me was the pick, especially with Have Another Glass, just didn't really tick the boxes all that much in the yard. Still ran a really good race, and it was gone at the turn, and then it kicked back the final 200 to have a really good final 200 sectional, which was strange.
Was it down the inside?
Yeah, a little bit, but it was strange.
I thought Every Faith paraded well, and it didn't go very well. So
Yeah, didn't run well.
I don't know what to make of this race going forward.
Soho Ruby was terrible. Had every chance from the run it had.
Yeah. I'm not interested going forward.
I think Mamselle Test, I'll keep placing it perfectly. I think that's one you can just follow. It's such a consistent horse. It's won 3 in a row, and it's lost by 0.1 lengths
Well,
in City.
To be honest, I couldn't disagree more. That stable doesn't place horses very well, in my opinion.
You reckon?
Yeah. Mate, they had a horse called Coram go to a fucking derby.
Yeah,
Like, it was 600 metre horse.
Yeah, but that's kind of also syndicate owners pushing for it.
It was stable. I was in on the emails.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
I worry about certain trainers if they put it somewhere like Gay or Weir.
How good is it
You're
getting
like-
stable emails, right?
Yeah, you're like that's going to go well.
If anyone
I'm
wants to
worried about
send
where
us
they put it.
stable emails that you get, forward them on to us. We love them.
Yeah,
we love
we
them.
appreciate them.
Seriously, there are some people who send me stuff and appreciate it because it just gives us a better insight. We don't spread it out there. We don't.
The more info you have, the better you go.
Exactly. And
Race 5, 1200 metres.
handicap, crawl out front early, strong late. Got given the shit info on Lord Da Vinci being, it's not eating up well. It hasn't settled in anymore.
What? Who said that?
I was on Twitter, the trainer. So I drifted from 310 to 470 on the day and wins. Now, to be fair, it won because there was such a slow speed out front. It was suited,
Yeah,
but
they might have drifted. It paraded pretty horrible. It looks like a.
But as Tassie horse, it looked like a Tassie horse. That's
you
the
gotta
thing.
you gotta put that. You gotta keep that in.
I mean, we had that with Magic Console 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Magic Console looked like a Tassie/country horse, and that's how they look. So I wasn't too worried about how it looked in that. I just thought its form wasn't going to hold up, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't just mean it's furry.
Yeah, of course not. Roldas given a nothing ride wide all the way. Horrible. Rudiger saved 5 metres and still couldn't win.
I reckon Rudiger's going pretty well.
It's going well. Flemington next start.
But it'll be well found because it ran so.
Yeah. Camdus is one that I reckon they'll keep underestimating. I think we can follow Camdus forward after that run. I think it just wasn't suited. Needs a harder tempo and it would have won.
Yeah, and I think Military Rain might go back to Phillies grade.
Just sack it, in my opinion. Just let it go.
Yeah.
If you're on it, just sack. That was a horrible run.
I reckon there's some merit in it. I reckon it can.
I'll go have another look then. But it paraded perfectly. That's a problem.
I paraded okay.
And Fast Cash didn't have the speed. I'd like to follow Fast Cash to a race with the speed. That's what I said in the preview as well of the speed on Fast Cash.
I think it could have been ridden a little bit better.
Oh yeah,
but it's a horse that could
but
often you're often after the race going, if he had had a better run, it might have won. But
yeah, it's the tactics from the stable. They don't want to lead with it, which is a problem. I think nothing more we can really get
race
from that.
6, 1200 metres.
3-year-old handicap, fastest 1200 metres of the day. Liberty Song, Chelsea Hall. You're a fucking champion. That was a great ride. You gave your horse every chance.
Hello.
Out pre-race, walking the track with the pole, doing the right stuff. Absolutely brilliant. Saw you doing that. Saw the horse in the yard. Looked sensational.
This is my biggest
Mapped
bet
a
of the
treat.
day from the yard each way so far.
I didn't have this as a bet. I even put it up on Twitter. I said, seriously, if I was redoing my form right now, this would be a bet of the day. So I said as confident as I could, each way. I want to be on. $3 a place. Thanks for coming. I'm happy that at least we got second. Just out performed on the day by Revolving Door, who was extremely well backed. Was foaming in the mouth, but interestingly, I've looked into that, and that's not a negative sign unless they're absolutely car wash foaming, like where it's coming over them and stuff. That's a negative. But if they're just foaming at the mouth, it's actually a positive from their.
It's all opinion.
Yeah.
It's like you can't just chop and change. Like sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. I don't want to.
Yeah. No, it's fair enough. It was just something that was noted. But with Turinda as an example, it was foaming at the mouth as well. But its manners in the yard were just, I'm sure you gave it 3 X's, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was just, that horse was never winning on the day.
I thought the Liberty Song paraded the best, and I thought Palladian paraded second best. Like, they're the two I like from the yard. So I think Palladian is a complete cat.
Yeah.
So I unloaded on Liberty Song each way.
Yeah. Easy bet. Highland beat. Had its
I
chance.
think it's still not at its top.
It covered 4 metres extra ground than the 2 winners, so it's got a merit to its run when it can get a better.
I wouldn't sack Highland bet.
And I'm just going to say one that I like from the race that I reckon will be undervalued next start, hopefully back to an easier grade, is Mystified. Last 2 runs, it's covered way too much ground and hit the line really well. I want to see it back in company.
Right.
Race 7, 2040 metres handicap. Tempo out front, as expected, was very, very, very solid because from the yard, Coldstone was absolutely cooked. It was off its head, and it went forward and led them around. That horse couldn't win. Goodwood Zodiac, let's be realistic. I'll take my bias off.
Yeah.
Couldn't win from the yard, could it?
How many laps did it take me to convince you of that?
5? 6?
It's almost off and gone.
Well, we got some good info on that, right? So, talking to one of the part owners, what they used to do in UK to settle it down, it's in a small stable because it's bad mannered, right? And they used to take it down over in the UK early to the barriers, so it would avoid the getting.
Yeah, but
off
that's
its-
bullshit. Yeah, good. I don't want them doing that. That's just like pulling horses out of the gates, like I was saying before.
Yeah.
In Sydney, they can't just fucking piss off and get on the racetrack. They've got to parade. It's just part of racing.
Yeah.
It's
It's a tough one. If you want horses to run to their merits, though. So
yeah, but you
I
want
don't know.
punters who is what the game is built on.
Yeah.
To be able to see every horse do the same thing.
I'd say bring it in early, give it a few laps.
Yeah,
let
no,
the punters
I'm not
see
saying
it.
it's staying in the whole time, but it's
Yeah.
got to do like
Yeah, I'd say early.
depending on the size of the yard,
we're
it's
allowed
got
to
to do a
take 'em
lap
down
or two
early.
at
Yeah.
least.
Yeah, I'd say bring it in early before all the other
Oh,
horses.
remember that day we got stripped out by Star Exhibit?
Yes.
We ran second, third, and fourth.
Yes, because it didn't
Just
come
fucking
near us.
shot straight out. Didn't
Yeah.
even parade.
Yeah, correct.
Like,
Hersley,
Mega Blast is a real nice horse.
you see they're running again this week,
It's a
2,500
really nice
metres.
horse.
I want to be on this week.
Longer on paraded enormous.
Wasn't suited by tempo in my
Show a
opinion.
Star paraded really nice.
That was a huge run. Huge.
Yeah.
Like, to keep kicking it on for third, it was passed by Mega Blast, it was passed by Black Tomahawk, but I think Mega Blast put a length or two on it, and then it still kept finding and finding.
I think it might be. I'll be careful next Star, but it is
Yeah.
it fucking. But it
Could
it
be
was
cool,
right at its
definitely.
nearest top. I think Mega Blast is a really nice horse though. Going
Yeah,
forward.
it's going to improve for that run. As long as it backs up, it'll go really well at Flemington.
And Goodwood Zodiac will show up one day. It's
Yeah.
it's a nice type. It's
Correct. Black Tomahawk, what did you think from the yard? Quickly on that one. I thought it needed another run.
just- I fucked this up. I kind of liked it.
Yeah,
But
I kind of
the
liked it as
jockey-
well.
The
but-
jockeys, I looked too much into other shit and it got in my head.
I just-
I didn't have it near top.
Yeah.
I thought that. Where was it? I thought that Benny Allen would have been on it if they thought it was ready to go.
Yeah.
I thought a bit more money would come if they thought it was ready to go. And it was 630 days between wins. So
Yeah.
I let it go against me. And
So,
fucking hell.
one of the plays we had here was also laying Hersley, who looked,
Yeah, I thought
cooked
she
from
was
the
a
yard.
bit cooked.
and I reckon had every shot. I know some people would disagree with that, but I thought had every shot from the yard. So we laid Coldstone at 5s and Hersley at 5s, and
Yeah.
that was a good result. Extra zero, I reckon next start can still keep improving. It went around a massive, I'd say.
Extra Zero will win without me if it ever wins again.
Went around at 21 though, almost
Yeah.
won.
I mean,
It was a good run. That's it for that race.
yeah, race 8 mile.
Handicap 137.61. Compare that to the previous one. Slightly slower than the F&M BM64, if that tells you anything. So I'd say that's a really good effort from Petrology to win.
I think Petrology is a good horse and it's capable of winning these kind of races and it paraded really well.
You and I were on the different sides of this photo finish. Magic Console was your tip for the race. Gets fucking nutted. Whereas I liked Petrology from the yard and I thought it would be suited by just how I thought the track would be playing. So I added it to my numbers with Ribbon Despair, who had absolutely no luck, just forgive run. And On Bacalo, who didn't lead again, which is a bit of an annoying thing for me, but still stuck
it
on.
was pretty hot early.
I was 3 wide the trip though, and it still just ran massive to only be beaten half a length.
Yeah, well, I think that was like well ridden. But
Yeah.
I think if he pushed to lead, do you reckon the finish is better than third?
I reckon it probably could have won. I'll be honest.
I don't
I it depends if you had to overextend.
When
or not.
horses, like when Petrologies win races, they're going quick. I think Amavasio paraded really well and might win next time.
Yeah, just
I don't
no luck.
think I've seen like we just watched the replay. I don't think it would have won. It had no luck, but it's going well.
Yeah.
Kalani Kid surely is going to win something soon.
Data point back to easier, wins easily, and maybe in this race, in this
And
class again next
I doubt Mr. Individual still has his nuts.
Oh,
I reckon they'd already be off.
You either have to take him to the
He did a lot of work, but
to the breeding barn now.
he
If they
paraded
don't want to.
enormous, and he didn't go anywhere.
I mean, they might as well retire Mr. Individual and put him in breeding barn. You've seen
Well,
half
it
the
wouldn't
shit.
be the worst one.
Hey, it wouldn't be the worst one retired in the past 6 weeks. I can tell you that. I mean, Teloperion or whatever its name is. Do you reckon which one's better?
Exactly.
You don't even know who the fuck I'm talking about.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
It won an early 2-year-old race before the
It's
slipper.
form shit.
It would have beaten the Golden Slipper winner or something. Anyway.
Yeah.
1200 meters, last race, benchmark 78.
Hashtag get fucked.
Yeah, this wasn't good. So, I had a good bet at.
Oh, just going back to let's go back to last one quickly. This is Harry hindsight for us. Race 8. I found Patrology. You found Magic Console.
Yeah, look, I've got Patrology as well. Patrology doesn't win though.
Who runs?
Data Point runs third. I'm already
Yep.
on.
So we've got a nice Quinella there.
Anyway.
But first four, $54,000. What one ran fourth?
On Picalo.
Ah, so we've got Ompacalo, one of our top picks, Magic Console top pick, Pirelli top pick, and then the favourite, 54k first four.
Oh.
Fuck, we're flying.
Well, it gets worse here.
It does.
I found Nimini Pimini on top from the yard.
I found that as my
$41.
one of my value picks for the day.
And Star Stealer. And I backed both of them. Yeah, it was
Star
torture.
Stealer was absolutely flying when it found heels. Benny Allen falls
I don't think
off.
it would have won.
If he found a
But it
split,
you don't know. Oh, you don't know.
if he found a split, I reckon he goes very close.
I don't think it would have won. I mean, I don't know it would have won.
Yeah. Catch That Cat covered 13 metres less ground than Nimini Pimity to beat us by that much.
Yeah, well, it's going to happen though because it's ridden positively.
I know.
It was a good ride.
A very good ride.
Fucking hell.
Leodoro
Yeah, luckless.
just didn't have its chance. Slaughter.
Nah, I don't think it's nearly as. How they mention him in the stewards and not Williams is just like.
Look, I think the
it shows
tactics.
you just how good is racing.
I think the tactics were poor. I didn't like the tactics. I would have gone out and taken the run that Nimini Pimity had personally.
Yeah, but
Based on
Luke Nolan, who's ridden for 20 years, said, "No, I'm going to sneak behind you and take it." So
How's
you
he
can
going
try
to-
and push me wide, and I'll try. I'm Luke Nolan, so I might just say, "Fuck off, you're in."
Yeah,
He doesn't know.
but he had a length in us. Like he had the room. Trust me, he had the room.
Oh, I don't think he did.
And what did the stewards say?
You've already said what they said.
No, I haven't said it yet.
Oh,
Nah. Race 9. Leodoro. There was a gross error of judgment. However, we're not comfortably satisfied. Such an error was culpable under the rules given his inexperience as claiming apprentice. He leads a premiership by 2. Over Craig Williams, and 15 behind him are Dunn, Oliver, Lane and Rawilla. Nolan's probably 30, 40 winners back.
yeah. So that tells me that he often gets it right, and you got one wrong. Like so.
I'm more
play
just
on.
thinking the stewards are a bit gone if that's the ruling that they have to make it on. I think you just say, well, he wasn't culpable, instead of saying that it's because he's a claiming apprentice in his inexperience. He's not inexperienced.
Oh,
He's
it's just,
one of the...
no, this is just how relevant it all is.
Yeah.
Why are they giving us an excuse for that when we can all see it? They're not educating shit. Like, no one talks about the Williams ride.
They didn't question it, the Williams ride. Nothing asked. I can
They
send...
think we're all idiots.
Well, I can send an email to my mate who's the steward who did get back to me last week. So fair point that he got back to me on Grand Prix
I
custody.
don't care what they say.
But I'll just get the same response
Yeah.
and say, look, we thought he gave it every chance. He had the right to take the sit.
I
So
think
be it.
that Bo Mertens has slaughtered a lot less horses than a lot of other jockeys. I think he's a great rider. I think there's a lot of really good rides on Saturday that won races. It was a smart. Mooneyvale's a smart track.
You hear the stat? Horses that were favourite in races, 0 finished top 2. That's how much of a graveyard it was for punters on Saturday.
Yeah, but it was also just a much trickier meeting going in. Like, if now not when, $3.40 favourite when we were doing form. Like,
Yeah.
This wasn't a $3.40 favourite.
Rim to spare finish, 2 lengths off. I want to be on a next start.
So horse
same,
to follow from that race.
same with
I don't
Ompacalo,
know.
in my opinion. Ompacalo can just back to Caulfield. Oh, yes,
There's a
please.
few nice runs that if they go back and grade a bit, you'd be interested.
Yeah.
Alright, what else we got?
I'll
What,
touch on some good stuff.
We're going to
So,
discuss some issues in racing.
Yeah,
right?
well, I'll chuck a nice one out there. So this is one of my favourite weeks of the year, Royal Ascot. So just so you know, I'll be covering every race. So tonight I'll be chucking up my form for tomorrow night's races and so on and so on. I've already got quite a few. Use my time form ratings as a basis and go from there, and generally find quite a few winners, including some at odds. So hopefully I can deliver for the punters. It's been pretty good Ascot the past few years. So
Well, I might have to. I'm not staying up. I might flick you some money. And you can.
I don't stay up past race 4, but that's generally normally okay because we normally
Just
get them all
set
out of the
forget.
way. Some of them, yeah. Like I'll take the Betfair SP on most of them if I
Okay.
want to do that. It depends what I got on the next day. Sydney, I'll discuss this one. This is an interesting one. So Sydney have announced that during the spring they're trying to do a bit of a takeover. They're moving a Group 3 race to Everest Day. Pretty sure it's Craven Plate. Increase the prize money to 500 grand. There are 12 Group 1 races in Victoria that have $500,000 or less as prize money. How many Group 1s do we need in Victoria and how many do we need in Australia? My massive point on this is you look at a prime example. I love the Oakley Plate. It's one of my favourite races, but that's because you have secondary, the second best runners realistically targeting that race, because all the best ones are targeting bigger and better races. You got like 5 or 6 Group 1s along that time with bigger prize money. So we realistically need to be downgrading lots of races to Group 2s and just keeping the elite races as Group 1s. That's my 2 cents on that, and I think Sydney are just...
I think that it's probably like partly with Victoria, like what that Ralphie talks about a bit, like paying the 10th and
yeah, well, we're
there's-
run by breed. Our chief was a breeder.
there'll be money. So it's the same in New South Wales.
Yeah.
It's spread too far here, but there's way too many Group 1s, and for as long as racing in Australia, like when you talk about racing in Japan,
Yeah.
I don't even know like cities and states, like different states in Japan, but you don't hear about them.
There are 25.
But like no, in
Group
so in
1s
Australia,
in Japan, we've
in
got
Australia,
76 or something.
in Australia, it's New South Wales and Victoria and Queensland.
Mm.
For as long as they bicker amongst each other with media, with horse races,
Agree.
etc., etc., it'll forever be the tiny sport that it is on the whole scheme of things, and it'll only get smaller. The AFL is the AFL, you know what I mean? The rugby league is the rugby league, rugby union. It's so backward. 4 years ago, or like 5 years ago, wouldn't have been that long. You could just watch TVN, watch Nice Mounting Yard for Sydney, Nice Mounting Yard for Melbourne, and bet.
Read that
You
one.
could do your replays all of one thing. So when spring comes around, you're gonna need like 15 tabs up on your thing if you haven't got runnings to win.
It'd be great if you just had one race website that just had it all. Yeah.
Yeah. Are you yelling at me?
No, I don't know.
Anyway,
Not even in a park.
it's
mate.
just frustrating.
Nick Williams, so Melbourne Cup winning Nick Williams owner Leviathan. Imagine if Racing New South Wales RV Tabcorp could put aside a massive egos for the good of all and put Vic and New South Wales Racing on one premium TV
No,
station.
that's what
I
I'm
mean,
saying.
TVN was great. Now, there was a lot of shadiness in all the dealings, and I'm happy to use the word shadiness because that's what everyone else uses. There's just stuff that we don't know that happened there, and lots of just where the money went, and
I got no idea about what happened.
it shouldn't have dissolved, but it's just
It was better.
the
Racing
bickering.
was easier and better to watch back then.
Yeah,
than it is
100%.
now.
I mean, you have to switch between, and then you forget races are on, and it doesn't matter for us, at least on a Saturday, because we're now at the track, so it's a bit easier to follow, but long race days as well.
Yeah.
I mean, that's another point.
That's another. If I can bring
Finished
one
in the
up,
dark.
9 and 10 race meetings, races a meeting,
Yeah.
is too much.
Yeah. Royal Ascot, guess how many they have? 5 to 6. Melbourne Cup Day, we put 10 or 11 or 12
So
on.
it's like every Saturday night I'm cooked.
Yeah.
And then like on a Sunday there might be like 10 at Ballarat or something.
Yeah.
Like-
We did find a good one on Sunday, though.
Yeah,
so
I needed it.
yeah, me too. So we black booked Strike Force and Cosmic Lights from the past
That would have
4
been on the
weeks.
show, wouldn't it?
Yeah, Sandown meeting, Strike Force. Black booked it, really good run. Cosmic Lights 2 weeks ago at Moonee Valley. Backed them both. Wasn't exactly high odds, but we got what, 4s and
Roughly 4s for both.
Yeah.
Like overall. Oh, that's what I've got.
both sent them out to
I
our
think
people.
I think Cosmic Light should have won.
Yeah, it's a good run. Just got negative ride from the barrier. If it was an inside barrier, it probably goes close.
All right, I've got a question here from Brody King. Can we all stop backing Mr. Individual already? Might be the biggest cat going around, no matter how good it looks. All right, is there a bigger cat?
Oh, Patrology was.
No,
It was.
Patrology
Yeah, no.
hit the line every time. Just
Look, Mr. Individual is actually a cat. I've
have I
had some
called it a
good
milk
wins on
drinker
it.
before?
No.
I was calling one horse a milk drinker. Yeah, it's sacked. It'll get gelded though. It'll get
Then
gelded.
we'll have to back
and
it
it'll
again.
come back gelded.
We'll have to back it.
Yeah, and I'll probably back it.
Yeah.
Because it's a talented horse. But it's not a stallion. Just nut it and get on with it.
How about talking about old mate Joppy? And it was a fair point. Booksy's fucking lost out the back at Mooney Valley, and the same with Flemington even. I mean, we haven't gone to Fleming together, but that walked to the bookies all the way out the back at Flemington.
I don't bet at the bookies at Flemington.
Well, it takes you half a year to get there.
You walk past them on the way in, and I walk past them on the way out.
Yeah. I can't tell you the last time I bet with them. I will bet Mooney Valley because it's at least there, but
Well,
if
it's
you have
kind
that,
of on the way from the ring to the track.
once again, looking at Ascot, they've got them on the lawn. For
Again,
punters.
mate, Sydney just doing it better.
Does Sydney do it?
Or no, at Randwick.
Not
I
at
like-
Randwick
I like
anymore.
Randwick.
Randwick's indoors. That's fine. I'm happy with the
Yeah,
indoors.
but you watch
area
them
there.
parade, and then you go watch from the parade to the track
Yeah.
via the bookies.
So that's fair. That's
Smart.
a good setup.
What it is.
So I like Caulfield's bookies. That's nice enough for me. It's just you got the parade here and then straight indoors, and you got the bookies right there. So
Sandown's the worst I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Flemington's not very good. Headquarters. All right. Have you heard anything about Brad Rawilla and DK Weir? Which is interesting. I was thinking this. That's from Matty Hanlon.
no, but when I was just looking at those numbers to have a go at the Mertons being ahead on the premiership, I was a bit surprised to see Rawilla so far back. And that kind of says that he isn't getting the plum rides. I mean, Lane's ahead of him, and Lane rides a fair bit for Weir. So he's probably getting more plum rides overall. And
Lane's probably considered a better jockey.
yeah,
Almost.
I'd agree on that. But you'd look at it and go, oh, Rawilla's got the plum ride, then Lane's got the second ride, but not anymore.
It seems to me whoever puts in the most work, Darren Weir's actual stables, like in the mornings doing track work, gets rewarded.
Correct.
So that's probably all it is. I don't know, maybe it's something personal. See what happens.
Very much does seem like the type of bloke that if you work hard, he'll reward you.
Yeah. Anything else you got?
Not really. I'm just looking forward to this week. We're back at Flemington, which is a bit of a kick in the nuts, but
Just got to figure it out.
yeah, no rain. Wind didn't look to be overly high, so we should get decent racing. I haven't looked at the card yet, but no Mega Blasters going there, so that means it's half decent racing.
You'd be over what distance?
2,500, so they're stepping up, which is what you want to see for that horse. Because
Not
it's
second up 500 metres.
no, it's third up. It's third up because it's had a run in New Zealand over 1,600 on heavy, which it won.
We'll see.
It's not the ideal way to do it.
All right, horse to follow. Fuck, I better go.
Oh, you're putting me on the spot here.
Well, we've got to give out something, mate.
I mean, I've kind of already said Mega Blast is a horse to follow. I reckon Mystified is one that's going to be totally under the radar and will get a big price next start, so that's a horse to follow for me. I think Camdus is a horse to follow, and Mamselle Tess is a horse to follow.
Okay, we might have a side bet on Mamselle. I'll have Zara Bay. 1,100 metres at Caulfield, hopefully.
And I'll just say Ribbon to Spare, no luck. I'll give it another.
You love that horse. Alright, thanks guys. Good luck.
Of course I do.